Tom and Jerry, the movie. I am disappointed. So, we're going to be talking about Tom and Jerry, the movie. This one was specifically the one that was brought out in 2021. I have to say, I'm very disappointed, and I think I've read a lot of reviews on this movie as well, and a lot of people agree with me. It's so disappointing, considering how big like this was the first official Tom and Jerry movie. This was the first official Tom and Jerry movie like that's been out in theaters. Every other Tom and Jerry movie was a direct to video sequel, which went straight to DVD. Um, so it didn't actually come out in theaters. This was the first film that came out in theaters or cinemas, whatever it may be. So people were excited, and it was just. I'm not going to say it was bad. There was some funny bits in it. There was some bits in it that kind of made me laugh. Um, but it's not. I'm not going to say it's bad. It's just very disappointing. Specifically, what they do. Specifically, the opening. I want to talk about the opening because again, for those who watch my Garfield Gets Real video, it's exactly the same thing. I've got exactly the same problem with the opening song. That should not be the opening song to a Tom and Jerry film. The song is I don't know what it is. It just says the same thing over again. Can I kick it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like that's not a Tom and Jerry. Um, yeah, like that shouldn't be used in Tom and Jerry. It shouldn't be a slow beat, a slow tempo. It needs to be really fast. It's Tom and Jerry. It needs to be fast. It needs to be upbeat. It needs to be da 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 da. All that jazz. Specifically, it needs to be the theme song they used in the Tom and Jerry show. It needs to be that. Maybe it's modernized a little bit. But it needs to be that. It can't be the. It can't be like a slow tempo for a Tom and Jerry movie. It doesn't fit. It doesn't work. Music is hugely important in films. If you're wanting like a kind of comedy, then it can't have like a slow upbeat. Yeah, it's got to be fun. It's got to be energetic. It's got to be funny. It's got to be all of that. So yeah, it's really music is hugely important in films. It needs to be the correct type of music for films. We can't just like when we put together a film. You can't just look up in Google and think, okay, what's the best? What's the most popular song out now? Out here right now. Okay, then put that in. Okay, it right. Doesn't matter if it doesn't fit into the film. Put it in. It does right. That's just yeah. Like it needs to fit around the style. The music needs to fit around the style of the film. Unfortunately, the music for the opening theme for this, does not fit into Tom and Jerry. That is the first problem I have with this. The next problem I have with this is specifically the main character. I'm not gonna lie, I really like this actress. I think that she's. I seen her in Diary of Wimpy Kid, the first Diary of Wimpy Kid film. I seen her in that. I really liked her in that. She was the girl in Diary of Wimpy Kid who worked for the newspaper, who worked for the school newspaper. That was her. So yep. As I say, I don't know the actress's name, but I know, but I've seen her in a few films as well. So yep. So yeah, but like yeah, it's just the most. She just looks like she doesn't want to be there for like the first half of the film. She doesn't look like she wants to be there, and again, it's like a very slow like build up, and then it's like she's a little bit hard to read. It's a little bit hard to read. She goes for this. We're supposed to feel like kind of sad and sympathy for her because she's obviously been evicted from her flat. She's got nowhere to stay, and then but she's a smart girl. So like she books it. Yeah, so it's like she kind of does something similar to what Kevin and Home Alone did. She goes to a hotel and she kind of tricks him into giving them a room, and so yep, and then eventually she gets a job at the hotel, and then but then she decides she doesn't want the job at the hotel, but she's stuck with it, so she gets a job, believe it or not, helping helping Tom, sorry, find the mouse. So she essentially becomes the villain. This character who was supposed to feel sad and sympathy for her, like, she just becomes the villain out of nowhere. Why? Why? There's no reason for her to be the villain in this film. Like, she could be Jerry's friend. She would fit more perfectly as being Jerry's friend, as somebody who helps Jerry against Tom. She would fit there much better. And just like the film, it kind of feels like it's just very slow at times. Yeah, like it's not as fast. It's not as upbeat. It's not as yeah. It's not as like it's not as fast as it needs to be for a Tom and Jerry film. The next thing I want to talk about specifically, is the fact that it's a Tom and Jerry movie. So you would think Tom and Jerry would be the main characters in this movie. They're not. They're not. The movie is centered around the villain. It's centered around the girl. It's a Tom and Jerry movie. It needs to be Tom and Jerry are the main characters. They're not. They're, believe it or not, just pushed to the side for the whole first half of the film. They are pushed to the side, like it's a Tom and Jerry. It's a Tom and Jerry movie. Oh, Tom. As I say, like I'm not gonna say it's a bad film. It's just very boring. I would say it just kind of felt like they were saying, let's make a Tom and Jerry movie. Okay, what do we do? Okay, what do we do? I've got no clue. Okay, then let's just yeah, do the first thing that comes to mind then, and that felt like it was the first thing that came to mind. That was just it was just really kind of boring. I'm like, yeah, that's how I would describe it. It was boring. I'm not gonna lie, it was very disappointing, but yeah, as I say though, it's I'm not gonna say it's a bad film. There was films that there was bits of it where I did laugh, but yeah, but it's just a very boring, disappointing film. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, that's all for today. So if you want to see more videos like this, then like and subscribe.